Hello and welcome back to part 4 of Hellblade series. This is Upside Down. Let's start. Here again we have some small issue. It was, I think, again the same as the tree that we saw earlier. Probably they just modified a little bit the terrain, and after that this asset started floating. I'm looking at the moment on these flags and I think that what they did there is it's actually not a simulation in the game, but instead it's animation which is just looping, because you can see that both of these flags are behaving the same way over and over again. One side is going backwards and then it goes back to straight, and one is moving one direction, the other one on the other direction, which if it was a simulation and there was a wind in the scene, it was not going to happen. So yeah, it's just some animation which is looping. I just noticed something that it's very interesting. If you see in the distance where the gate is, if you go further, it changes from this model to this model, and it's actually the same model, but it changes the light information. I think there are two options why this is happening. So I think that when we go here, it actually changes, replaces the model with one which is from this scene, and the moment that we go further, it goes from the other scene, because we can see that there are two different lights setups built in. Here we can see that it's a little bit more bluish, and there on the other side it's a little bit more red, like a sunset. So I think what they do is let's see if the same thing is happening with those walls on the side. I'm curious if we were gonna see similar. No. Ah, yes, on those I think as well we see. Yeah, we can see the same effect. So it's because those assets, they have two different versions of lights built in. So one is on one side where we were fighting with the boss, and it's on the other side as well. There is a function inside Unreal 4 that you can save different bakes for different, it's called different light scenarios for different models. So this way you can have with the same setup and the same things, just to have different light setup baked in, and this way it saves on memory. What a nice scene. This is I want you guys to appreciate this. It looks so nice, like this light and everything in terms of mood. It looks very nice. And if you remember from the very first video, I talked about landmarks and giving the player a specific goal. And this is exactly what this module at the very back is doing. It's again giving us the same objective at the very beginning. Again, we are blending between the 3D models and some the light change. I guess we are getting ready for some action. Okay, we are now on the second door. Okay, we are getting some new assets. I like really this bridge. It looks very cool. These pillars on the side of the bridge, they look very nice. This there is in the waterfall the face. I think it's just some. I think actually that they're using the same model. It just has a different shader on top. Yeah, it looks like it. On this side we can see that lots of the assets that we saw in the other part, they are repeating. There are some new ones that appear, like those. I like how they did this nice touch on the rocks on the side. So you have the stones, and then on top you have these bigger ones, which are like the plates. And it's very nice, because usually I see some places where they just don't bother making the ones on the top, and it's actually in real world should be like that. But yeah, it's a nice touch of detail that you have all the big stones on the top, and then you have the flat ones which are going on the very top of the walls. Also, you can notice that here they slowly changed the type of assets, and also the style of the buildings, and a little bit how the terrain looks and everything. And this really, they're still using reusing some of the assets, but it adds the feeling that you're in a new zone and you're in some different place, but still reusing quite a lot of the things around. You can see also the color scheme, that here it changed a little bit. On the previous one we had the red markings, and here we have the yellow ones. Thank you one more time for joining me. Like and subscribe for more, and see you next time.